Hello, beautiful Taurus squad. Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. So happy to have the Taurus gang up in the house with me. We are here to do your February 2020 general tarot readings. You got poppers already. As always with these general messages on YouTube, they are general. Not everything I say will resonate with all the Tauruses out there. It is up to you guys to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, and ultimately to only take away the messages that serve you in some capacity, that resonate with you, inspire you, motivate you, confirm something you needed to hear. That is my goal and my intention here today. If something feels foreign or strange or doesn't fit your circumstance or scenario, drop it like it's hot. That means it's probably not your energy that I am tapped into, in which case you can release it and go about your merry way. Feel free to check Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and also give these messages time to resonate. Don't put yourself under pressure to make every detail work right now in this very second, because it probably won't. Give it a few hours, a few days, even a few weeks, something might strike a chord with you, in which case it was your message. Take it and run with it. All right, I got a few more decks to shuffle through, so what else can I tell you? Everything about this video is in the description box below. That is going to include the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media channels. I am the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram. As always, I ask for you to like, share, subscribe wherever you can. That helps me, that helps this channel gain some traction, gets those messages out to those who need to hear them and those who want to hear them. I would appreciate it. I'm also theintuitiveteacup.com. Check out my website if you are at all interested in me and my tarot path, as me as a tarot reader and as a person. All right, that is I think all our decks here. So let's hop into your actual reading. Your energy is presenting as Three of Cups and Knight of Cups. All right, so beautiful, that nice watery elemental energy. Cups and tarot, as we know, represent the heart space, our love, our emotions. It can also be creativity and spirituality. Now, because you have a Knight, Knights always bring change and forward movement into our life. So it seems like you could either be leaving a team dynamic, and that doesn't have to mean three. It could also be a partnership, but it's called celebration. So I don't necessarily think this indicates a breaking up or a splitting off. You may just be traveling, moving away from the ones you love, but there is this really beautiful message of you still hold them in your heart space. So, maybe you're going on vacation, maybe you're going on a business trip, but something about leaving your soul tribe behind just for the time being, that's an energy that is sort of presenting roughly in the month of February, right? Can also mean forward movement with a relationship that it's like you're starting to build upon. It's not just one, it's not just two, it's three. It's starting to ascend in a spiritual way or in an emotional way or in a it could be like physical, romantic type of way. This is a card of Pisces, but again, all three cups are indicating to me Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. That could be strong in your chart. I am specifically reading for your energy here. I don't know if you have a Cancer moon or a Scorpio Venus, something like that. But yeah, forward movement in love. I think that's a beautiful message. Let's take that and run with it. Let's see, what else do we need to know about Taurus? I almost called you Scorpio, so some of you may be dealing with a Scorpio, and that is your divine pairing. Is it not Taurus and Scorpio? I believe it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. Ooh, Ace of Wands. Yeah, okay, cool. You're headed towards passion, towards, it could be sex, romantic partnership. This is sometimes the boner card, right? If it's not that, it's moving towards something with love in your heart that sparks joy, right? Like Marie Kondo. It sparks creativity, passion, motivation, inspiration, curiosity. It's the beginning of a new cycle with an ace. Now, the ace starts with us. But yeah, it's something about feeling the vibe of being guided, spiritually guided to go move towards something. Some of you may be pursuing a change up in your career, looking to change jobs, change paths, change direction. For a lot of you, it does involve physical travel, physical movement. Maybe away from the comfort zone. Also, this could all indicate if you already got word that you're getting a new job or you got a new house or you're pregnant, you're celebrating something. It's like your soul tribe is lifting you up. Your soul tribe is celebrating this new beginning, this new journey, this new path you've set down on. Really great energy, Taurus. I'm digging it. So then let's look at why you're really here. What's the challenge and focus about? What do we need to focus on? What is going to be challenging in roughly the month of February? So you have the Lovers and the Nine of Wands. Oh, interesting. You have a card of stay and concern. So moving towards whatever this new beginning is, particularly if it does involve a career that is across town or in a new city or in a new state, or maybe it's just like it requires a lot of commute, lots of time spent traveling on the road. You may be a traveling salesman. You may be flying to do interviews. You may be flying to do, I don't know, press events, whatever that is for you, right? There is something about stable love and wanting to make it work, but this new beginning is really posing challenges to it, particularly for those who are with a Gemini or, again, a Scorpio, I'm getting. Your partner may be putting pressure on you to stay or to, something about not wanting to let you go, fearing that when you are off overseas or off away from like your safety zone, your comfort zone, they're worried about what you're getting up to. And I actually do think this may have to do with the Gemini. Their mind is creating false scenarios in their head, and it's a little bit paranoid. It's a little bit like, I hate to throw down the word you're cheating on me, but it does feel a little bit like they don't know. They're having all these unsettled feelings and they don't know what to do with it. And so their gut reaction is to cling to you. Their gut reaction is to be very codependent. And I don't think they're doing it from a purposefully manipulative way, but they are determined. They are set in their ways, very scorpionic, a fixed energy, to get you to stay because they're worried about if they let you go, you're not going to come back to them. So I don't know if you're going on a job interview and it's literally like across the country or whatever that is, even just going on the interview, it's a very interesting energy. It's sort of manipulative, but it comes from a place of them loving you. However, I want to be very clear about this. Them trying to keep you to themselves, them trying to keep you in the comfort zone or not growing or progressing as a spiritual person, that's a big old red flag we can slap on that person. So I'm not hating on your person. I'm saying that they're very fragile right now, and I don't think they're understanding that them trying to keep you safe. This could even be your mother, for those who have a mother or a mother who's a Scorpio or a Gemini or whatever, right? It doesn't have to be Sagittarius. Them trying to keep you protected and almost under their wing, they're not letting you live your life. They're not letting you go explore these new beautiful things that it's like, as I said in the beginning, you heard the calling. You know you're supposed to go to this. Some of you maybe are leaving a water sign behind to go to a fire sign. That's not for most of you, but I'm just kind of giving you some scenarios here. Maybe your mother or your father, your friend, your whatever doesn't approve of this new person in your life. And it could be a new boss. It could be, yeah. There are obstacles that you will be able to break through or bust through with this person because they do love you. But yeah, it's going to take a lot of strength and determination and communication and getting on the same page. I am getting codependency with this. I just got to be real honest. But for those who are worried that your person doesn't love you and that they're leaving you, that's really not true. It's like a clouded judgment. It's a clouded state of mind. Some of you work as counselors or therapists. You help people by extracting their stories. And it's funny. It's actually what this person needs. That might actually be your job. I feel like that's like I don't know, I don't think it's a specific quote from something, but it's like, I can't be your therapist. There does feel like there's a confrontation or a conversation and somebody says something like that. Particularly those of my Tauruses who are on a more spiritual path and if they are healers, I'll use that term. If you're a light worker, if you're a healer of some kind, this person is experiencing some sort of like dark night of the soul or just their thoughts are getting the best of them and they're doing some spying on you. It does feel immature, and no shade to the Geminis out there. I got lots of Gemini in my chart. Love me some Geminis. Their reading had a lot to do with this issue, and you have a lot of sword energy coming up. And again, the Lovers is a card of Gemini. Yeah, so for those dealing with a Gemini, it could be a parent-child dynamic, wanting to keep someone protected. You, Taurus, may not be letting your child go off and explore new things because, again, it comes from a good place. You don't want them to get hurt. You don't want them to be bullied on the playground. Take that scenario and apply it in your life. Someone is being overly protective, but it's actually it's getting the gears stuck. There's supposed to be forward motion and forward progression, but it's like, something is jamming the wheel. And I think this is in metaphor. Though some of you, wow, this is actually a really weird message. For some of you, it's like they deflate your tire because they don't want you to go. So again, that seems very much more like specifically something the child would do. Something about if a parent is going on a business trip and that child again would be very immature, again, could be Gemini or Sagittarius, maybe a Cancer or a Pisces, maybe. Anyway, it's something about they pop your tires so that you literally can't pull the car out of the garage. It's actually kind of funny. It's because they love you and they're worried you're going to hurt them, or the vice versa. They're worried this experience, it's going to hurt you. It's going to pain your heart. It's something about heartbreak. It's like, I'm just getting like a connection of the hearts, and something about what you're doing is threatening to cut it. It's threatening to like snip that little tie between the hearts. Again, very codependent, the way these people are kind of wrapped in ribbons. The birds are like entwining them in ribbon together. But it's understanding that any healthy, thriving relationship, you can't be codependent. You can't constantly be leaning on someone, because if you're not able to stand on your own, balanced, right? Healing, very like at peace on your own, it does speak about a troubled mind. Again, codependency. I'm just being hit over the head with that term. So no shade, no judgment. I'm just reading the cards as they present. But there is a need to set something or someone free because it forces them to step into their power. And this might be your child who's a fire sign. Or maybe it's a very immature person you're dating who is a fire sign. You understand what I mean? Someone who acts very childish. Someone who pouts when you go away. And again, with this kind of this weird scorpionic metaphor, they're not doing it to purposely be a jerk to you. They are emotionally immature, and so it's almost like even subconsciously what they're doing, they don't realize that by pouting in the corner every time you go on a business trip, it puts you in this very weird, it paints you into a corner. It puts you in an awkward position of like, you're making me feel like you think I don't love you. And that, it's like, even just saying those words, it's a lot of like, you're doing this, but I'm doing that. And it's confusing. It's really confusing. Like, this person needs to like, I want to say something kind of harsh, but it's like this, how do I say it? This person needs to get their shit together, essentially. And I want to be really clear. This person isn't bad. I think you love this person. I know that they love you, Taurus. But it's something about stepping away and letting them counsel themselves, or I will say, encouraging this person to seek counseling for maybe some, again, codependent or subconscious issues that are bubbling to the surface in your relationship. The angel of peace needs to come for this person. There's a tremendous amount of healing and restoration of your health. Healing, health, and balance. And this is supposed to be, in metaphor, the Archangel Michael, the angel of love. This person needs to have self-love. They are overly dependent and reliant on you. And because of that, they're not stepping into their power as an independent, functioning adult. This person may have had codependency issues as a child. Through the years, they've dealt with a lot of pain and trauma and heartbreak. And so in the past, they've had to resort to finding boyfriends, girlfriends, however you want to say it, that they can cling on to. And it's like they hold on to it for dear life, but it actually ends up shooting themselves in the foot because they suffocate their people. They suffocate the relationship. And again, they don't mean to. It's like they're their own worst enemy. But yeah, they're constantly leaping into the arms of people. Or I actually just heard leaping into the beds. Because they find self-love in getting admiration from other people. Want to be very clear, it's not out of ego, it's out of desperation. It's out of a lack mentality of not feeling good enough, of feeling like they were never loved as a kid, of feeling like they were always pushed aside or ignored. When they find someone who does fill their cup, it's almost like addiction. Again, a codependency is addiction, even though it's not substance abuse. It is in a form emotional abuse to themselves as well as to their person. And I know that sounds really drastic and really heavy. There is love here. This isn't saying sever it. In fact, it literally says stay, right? I'm not suggesting you up and leave this person because quite frankly, that would be extremely traumatic for them. And I think because there is love here, right? There's celebration, there's joy, there's passion. Again, you have a wand here that is lit. I was going to say aglow. On fire. Don't let this person snuff it out, particularly if they are a water sign. Temperance is all about mixing fire and water. It's something like you, Taurus, hold this new wand and your person is just going to come over and like dump some water on it, snuff your fire out because they want you to stay. They don't want you to chase your dream, chase your passion, because that means they would have to say goodbye to you. Or something in the relationship would have to be sacrificed, the amount of time they spend with you, the amount of energy you can give to the relationship. I gotta be really honest, and my cross-watchers, I probably have lost them all at this point. This person might need to seek some therapy or counseling, which is, there's no stigma there. There's no judgment here. I'm just reading the message as it presents. This is quite clearly a counselor or psychologist or therapist of some kind. And again, some of you may work in this field. So if this isn't a romantic partner, this could be one of your clients that you're seeing. And I don't know why it's coming up as the challenge or focus, but apparently this situation is going to be challenging for you, but with determination and like action, you can set this person free. You can help them down the right spiritual path or the better spiritual path. Something about their innocence. Again, I keep going back to this child metaphor. Very immature. It's called the card of gossip. I don't know what that would have to do with this, but that's neither here nor there to me. It is something about someone who's very immature in how they approach things mentally, how they view things, and even their inability to communicate how they're actually feeling. Instead of saying, I don't want you to go because I'm going to miss you, again, they like pop your tires. For some of you, it's literally a child, or two, potentially. If you have Gemini twins, I don't know why that's coming through, double twinning. It doesn't have to be Gemini. If you have twins, one of them may really be struggling emotionally. They may have emotional problems. They may have emotional issues because something in their innocence or during their childhood, they got led astray. They were told by someone, this is all in metaphor, jump off the cliff, I'll catch you. And then they did, and this is what happened to them. That person who made that promise to catch them, to stand by them, to save them, to help them, they didn't follow through, and so this person has severe damage, internal damage, mental damage, emotional wounds of that person who let them down. And that's what I was saying. It bleeds over into every partnership they've ever had. So even if this is your husband or your wife, this might be a message for you of why those emotional triggers come up every time you leave the house, every time you talk about moving to a different city. They have severe issues and fears about being abandoned, about being lied to, about someone making a promise and then not following through. You have a lot of Sagittarius energy here. I would be shocked if some of you weren't dealing with a Sagittarius. The wounded warrior too. Here it's called determination, but again, if it is a Sagittarius, it's like it's their determination to force you to stay with them, to make you stay with them. Oh, guys, my heart actually goes out to your person. Angel of Destiny, it's Jupiter energy, expansion. This again is saying to me, this relationship isn't doomed, but it's time for you both to get out of the comfort zone. Something about replaying the same scenario over and over and over again. It's like a record that keeps scratching or repeating. It's about not getting out of this cycle that is way past due. This has been an ongoing issue, I do want to say, for years. Again, potentially childhood into adulthood. There's something toxic about this relationship that can be healed. It can be fixed, but it's time to actually go in the direction that you are being called to. And I just got to be real. For some of you, you are leaving this person behind temporarily so that they can get well again, so that they can get back to be stable on their own 2 feet, so they can find their own empowerment, encouragement, find it again, like self-love, before they can, make a commitment to this relationship. Here it's called angels of commitment, right? And there's healthy space between them. Here it's codependency. They're wrapped up, they're tangled up in one little like ball. Here there's breathing room. It's I love you and I love you too, but when you have to go away for a day, I'm not going to freak out and have a meltdown. Do you understand what I'm saying? Again, double Gemini. Gemini twins, Gemini lovers, a Gemini parent. And I don't mean to make it weird and sexual, translate it how it is for you. But yeah, it's like destiny is knocking on your door like it's time to go. Angel of Destiny. You've heard the calling. I almost called you Pisces. You might be dealing with a Pisces. Again, an immature water sign who's emotionally manipulative. Take it if it resonates. You've heard the calling. You know it is time to go forth on this new journey, this new adventure. It could also be your person, particularly a Sagittarian. It's time to start anew and build from the ace, to build from one. Partnership, again, codependency. There's something beautiful here. You don't need to throw it away, but it needs space to grow. Both of you need space to grow on your own. Even if that doesn't mean getting a divorce, severing the relationship, healthy boundaries, healthy space where you can go off and both kind of do your own thing and you can come back together at the end of the day and it's great. You still love each other. Yeah, it's on, like, this is such like a metaphor for children when they're scared and they don't want to leave the house. They're too afraid to get on the school bus or go to the playground. It's like, go ahead, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And then, you can go to work and not worry about it. And then when you see them at the end of the day, they're not bitter and resentful that you made them go to school. They're like, Mom, Dad, I love you. And like they'll get over it. But something about building the pattern of separation is going to be healthy. Yeah, that's absolutely what this message is. And again, counseling, psychology, therapy for some of you or your children or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever that is. All right, so what is the help available to my Tauruses? This is a really like heavy message. It is very specific though, so I do acknowledge it's not for everyone. Healing uncertainty. That's, before I even look at what the suit was, those are the two words that popped out immediately. Healing the uncertainty of what this person is feeling. Again, those triggers that come up for them every time you leave or every time you talk about that thing. The help available to them or to you is helping to heal those uncertainties. And to be clear, for most of you, you are not the doctor or the therapist or the counselor in this scenario. Even if you are a light worker, even if you are a healer, if this person is like family, friends, lovers, you need an unbiased opinion. Again, time away. You're not being asked to like get into the situation even more and heal your person. That's not your job. Ultimately, again, it's up to them to heal themselves, but again, maybe with some outside perspective from a professional, right? And I'm not saying you guys aren't professional. You understand what I'm saying? It's not your job to heal this person. They need to seek that out themselves. And again, find healthy outlets. It doesn't have to be they're doing it on their own, but a lot of this does have to do with working through some really heavy, like, self-hatred or self-doubt or lacking confidence or just codependencies, addiction issues. Supporting them in healing their wounds, their mental wounds, their uncertainty, their defensiveness, especially if you've brought this up before. Like, I feel like we're joined at the hip. That wounds them just hearing that. And also, I will say the help available to you is going after that Ace of Wands, which was one of the first cards that flew out. Hearing the calling that you're destined to start something new, particularly in your career, your job, or traveling. Continue to pursue that. You don't need to put it on the back burner for your person, whether you're splitting up or divorcing or staying together, whatever that is for you, while you are working on this, because to be clear, this is an ace in the hand, right? This is a great opportunity of growth for you. This could also represent growth for them. They may participate in some sort of act of, it's something like very artistic, something very creative, that it actually channels for them a lot of very important messages that are trying to come up and out from their subconscious. It's not just letting them sit and like fester inside of them. It has to do with the emotions. It's getting it up and out in a way that it's like they communicate what they're feeling through expression of arts or expression of creativity, expression or even something about action, exercise, joining some sort of league where it's almost like allowing yourself to sweat out the toxins or this is such a weird metaphor, but like regurgitate all that nasty emotion that they felt as a child. In metaphor, it's like getting it up and out. That's going to help them heal. So yeah, your person may need to, again, find healthy coping mechanisms so they can really tap into why they're feeling this way. Those emotional triggers that have probably existed in their life since childhood, those things that bleed over into all their relationships, it does circle back to them being on their own to figure this out, loving themselves, and again, healing. Give them time to heal. So it's interesting. There is a great like twin flame mirroring type thing going on here, Taurus. So something about you should both pursue the ace. You should both pursue your individual passions, your individual routes, what excites you, what motivates you, what inspires you, and something about important messages and communications from God, spirituality. You both are going down a different spiritual path right now. Sorry, don't be afraid of that. Don't resist it. Don't try to hold on to it for dear life. Even if it means having to separate for a bit, I am getting you guys will reconnect when you are supposed to. Having fate and divine timing and destiny, it's like spirit is calling you to step away from this or push pause or hit reset or help your person to get to therapy or counseling. And it's like everything comes around again. You are going to have to go through, and just getting, this is inevitable. Prepare yourself. You're going to go through a moment of sadness with this person when you finally have that conversation of like, hey, I think you need help, or hey, I think we need to take a break, or whatever that is. It's going to be difficult because your person has you wrapped around their little finger. Again, they're not malicious. It's all they've ever known. It's how they've navigated every relationship they've ever had. It's okay for them to feel sadness because it's going to be therapeutic to, again, understand that release. Why are these tears coming out when we have this conversation? It's all in support of their healing process, healing their wounds, healing their uncertainty. And yeah, time to create something. A lot of my Tauruses as well are going through, going to some sort of creative workspace or a new job, a new gig, a new contract that, yeah, it involves music or the arts, performance of some kind. Then you have false person. I'm going to clarify that. Oh, I think this has to do with your person. As I was saying, at one point in time, they were told, I do want to say as a child, like, and this is in metaphor too, jump and I'll catch you. And then that person didn't. It broke their heart. Your person has been carrying around the weight of that baggage, that emotional loss, that disappointment, feeling like they were tricked and deceived. That is almost what needs to come up and out to the surface, is recognizing that small little incidental incident that happened as a child has caused them years of like emotional trauma and mental wounds, feeling damaged for years because they were fooled by someone. They were tricked. It literally may have had to do with something about a disguise. Ooh, there's a couple messages coming through here. Some are a little bit more heavy than others. The very most surface level thing coming through is that it may have been on like Halloween or at some event where people are wearing a costume or a uniform. It could have been at a soccer game, something like that. This is a tricky energy, so I'm not going to linger on it because it's really out of my territory. This person may have had like a run-in with like a predator as a child. I got the chills. Something about a sexual abuse. Again, this is something it's something they've carried with them for many years, and again, it bleeds over into their relationships. And again, I don't even think they realize it. That is something that would come out in counseling and therapy. Again, I feel for your person. I don't mean to demonize them, but they need help. This is a message for anyone resonating with this. Please don't give up on them. Please don't leave them. Please support them and encourage them to go after, again, healing. Healing is the key word here, because there's a lot that they have to sort through. And again, Taurus, it is not your job to do it. As much as I think you'd like to, again, severing the tie to come back together when you are both healthy and ready to do this. All right, final advice or guidance from my Tauruses. Ask for a sign. The Death card, which is called Angel of Transformation. Absolutely. I love that you guys got the Death card. A lot of this has had to do with cycles, and I was saying it's like the cog has been stuck, the gear, the wheel. It's not moving forward. You guys know, again, you've heard the calling. It is time to go after this new beginning. So allow transition into your life. Allow the death of this relationship, knowing that if you both want to come back together again, you absolutely can. And again, for all of you, this may not even involve a divorce. It's just welcoming in that transition to make this relationship better, to get it healthy again, to get it stronger. Take action forward on this healing that is really like, universe is really wanting me to underscore that. Healing. Seven of Pentacles, yeah, doing a little assessment, taking stock of what's in your life, of who's in your life, and are these seeds growing? That's really what this card is about. Wondering if the seeds we planted, are they ever going to grow? If not, it's almost like, well, can we move it to new soil? Will it thrive better with more water, with more sunlight? And this is all a metaphor for how do we get this relationship to be the best it can be. We're both miserable and living in a crappy apartment in New York City. What if we move to the country? What, you know what I mean? Mix up the ingredients, see how you can get the seeds to grow better this time around. And I do keep wanting to say this time around. This double Gemini, especially for those dealing with a Gemini, something about letting it go, it comes around again. If this person is meant to be in your life, well, it's written in the stars. You don't need to worry about it. Don't stay because you are, again, in like a codependent mindset. Have faith that universe has got you. Universe is trying to look out for you and your person. And ultimately, there is a need to make peace with the fact that this may have been a karmic relationship where you both learned something very important. But if you love something, set it free, right? We have the Angel of Freedom somewhere. Is that the Fool? Angel of Innocence. You had some card that read freedom. There it is, the Four of Wands. Yeah, if you love something, set it free. If it's meant to be yours, it will come back to you. Then you have the main male. Yeah, so for some of you, this could be a counterpart where I don't know, a male is involved, which, I mean, that's super general. I'm trying to get the most important message. A card of Scorpio, by the way. So a Scorpio male in your life, it may be something like that. This is also seeking advice from an older, I do want to say an older male in your life. It wouldn't be this person. It's not this person in the relationship. It's not someone codependent. This feels like going to your dad, going to your uncle, it doesn't have to be male, but for most of you it is. An unbiased perspective, being able to talk this whole thing through with someone who has no stake in it, that's going to be helpful for you, Taurus, because it won't pull at your heartstrings the way it will when you are discussing it with this person who has, again, a lot of baggage. You kind of need some outside perspective to set you straight, to make you understand that, yes, what you're doing, it does come from a good place. It's going to hurt, right? It's going to cause a little upset. It's going to cause probably some tears, right? But this is almost a reassurance in your life. It might actually be like an earth angel, someone you wouldn't even know. That it's like they're a light worker, but yeah, you may lean on someone. I'm going to clarify it, but you may lean on someone. It could also be a counselor or a therapist, especially if you're a light worker. It could be someone who does that with you or someone in that community that you know, to be like, hey, can I just run something past you? Like, I'm really caught up in my head about this. And it's asking advice. It's asking for guidance from someone. And again, they're going to tell you freedom. Set it free. As much as you want to keep this little caterpillar in its cocoon because it's cozy and it's safe and it's familiar, you set it free because it's meant to be a butterfly. You can't keep it forever. Yeah. In fact, I don't even need to clarify that. That's exactly what that is. All right, final advice or guidance for my Tauruses. This was a heavy message, Taurus. Real heavy. When I am in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. I'm going to pull you one more too. This has to go with going back to the womb, going back to childhood traumas, going back, or if it's not childhood, going back to like the seed before it was tainted, before things got really messy in this relationship, and also moving that seed, that crop, to a better location potentially, so that you can get it to grow. Adding more sunlight, right? Adding more excitement, more passion, giving that seedling more water. Your thirst for knowledge, your thirst for creativity, your thirst for love, right? And spirituality. One more card for Taurus. What is the message that wants to come out? Okay. There's a stream of love supporting my dreams. That's what this is. And also, if this person, in a sense, is your dream, you dream about what it would be like if you didn't have to deal with all the negative toxins of this relationship. I don't want to make false promises or say something that isn't in the cards, but I'm just getting this comes around again. This Two of Cups can be salvaged, but it's going to involve some freedom and some time away from each other. Because, yeah, someone has some major healing to do. That's the major message here. Healing. All right, guys, that's what I got. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates for you, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, Taurus.